Eileen Gu posts picture with Caitlin Clark, prompting mixed reactions amid skiers' Team China controversy. After an Olympics of victory and controversy, American-born Team China skier Eileen Gu was seen sharing a moment with another elite women's athlete that is often at the center of cultural debates. Gu posted an Instagram story of her and Clark at Milan Fashion Week on Thursday, just days after Gu won gold at the Winter Olympics. The two were seen sitting next to each other in the front row at Prada. The photo of the two women's sports superstars garnered mixed responses on social media, with some fans excited to see the two next to each other, while critics expressed disapproval amid Gu's decision to compete for China despite growing up in the US. Why is Caitlin cheapening her public image? Where is her publicist? One critic wrote on X. Another critic wrote, "What a poor decision by Caitlin Clark." Meanwhile, a fan celebrated, writing, "A superstar basketball player sat next to a superstar Olympian in Milan. Go Caitlin, that is so cool." Gu went to the fashion event shortly after the Milan Cortina Games ended, as she has a second career as a fashion model, and has even walked runways in the past. Gu's attendance comes after the star skier broke down in tears after winning gold in the women's halfpipe final on Sunday, revealing that her grandmother had died prior to the competition. It concluded an Olympics in which she had to compete under the pressure of immense global scrutiny in response to her decision to compete for China 7 years ago. Gu was asked whether she feels like a bit of a punching bag for a certain strand of American politics. "I do," she said, according to USA Today. "So many athletes compete for a different country. People only have a problem with me doing it because they kind of lump China into this monolithic entity, and they just hate China. So, it's not really about what they think it's about. And also, because I win. Like, if I wasn't doing well, I think that they probably wouldn't care as much, and that's okay for me. People are entitled to their opinions." Meanwhile, Clark has become a folk hero for many Americans amid her excellence on the basketball court and historic feats in the WNBA and in college. However, Clark has also been a target by a certain strand of WNBA fans and even current and former players. Criticism of Caitlin Clark stems primarily from her rapid ascension as the face of the WNBA, causing tension with veterans who feel her immense popularity overshadows their long-term contributions. Some controversy around Clark has also been centered on her presence as a white woman in a predominantly black sport, as some fans have argued Clark gets preferential treatment from the media due to her race, while other fans argue the exact opposite, and that she is targeted physically by other players during games. Eileen Gu's photo with Caitlin Clark sparks mixed reactions amid Team China controversy. In the age of social media, a single photograph can ignite global conversations. That reality became clear when Olympic freestyle skier Eileen Gu shared a picture with basketball superstar Caitlin Clark during Milan Fashion Week. What might have seemed like a simple moment between two elite athletes quickly transformed into a cultural flashpoint, drawing both admiration and criticism across the internet. The photo showed Gu and Clark sitting side by side in the front row at a Prada fashion show, two young icons of women's sports sharing laughs and conversation in one of fashion's most glamorous settings. But for many observers, the image symbolized something much larger, the intersection of sports, politics, national identity, and modern celebrity. To understand why a casual photo created such intense debate, it's necessary to look at the stories of both athletes and the controversies that have surrounded them. Two global sports icons in one frame. Eileen Gu and Caitlin Clark represent the new generation of superstar athletes, whose influence extends far beyond their sports. Gu, a freestyle skiing phenom, has become one of the most recognizable figures in winter sports. Born and raised in California, she began competing for China's national team in 2019, citing her desire to grow skiing and inspire young athletes in her mother's homeland. Since then, she has achieved remarkable success. By the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina, Gu had accumulated multiple Olympic medals, including gold, cementing her reputation as one of the most decorated female freeskier in history. Caitlin Clark, meanwhile, has become one of the most influential figures in basketball. Known for her long-range shooting and electrifying playstyle, she rose to fame during her college career and later became a cornerstone player in the WNBA. Clark's rise has attracted massive media attention and sparked conversations about the growing popularity of women's basketball. When the two athletes appeared together in Milan, it seemed like a meeting of sports royalty, winter sports excellence beside basketball brilliance. But the internet saw more than just two athletes enjoying Fashion Week. The photo that went viral. The image surfaced on Gu's Instagram story, where she posted a snapshot of herself and Clark seated at the fashion show. Clark later reposted the photo, showing the two chatting and laughing during the event. Fans of both athletes immediately began sharing the picture online. Many celebrated the moment as a powerful symbol of successful women in sport supporting one another. Yet within hours, the conversation shifted. Instead of focusing on fashion or sports, online discussion returned to a familiar topic: Eileen Gu's decision to represent China rather than the United States. The long shadow of the Team China decision. Gu's nationality decision has been controversial since the moment she announced it. Although she grew up in the United States, Gu chose to compete for China in international competitions. She explained that she wanted to help expand skiing in China and inspire a new generation of athletes there. To supporters, her choice reflects her dual cultural identity. Gu has often said she feels American in the United States and Chinese in China, embracing both parts of her background. However, critics have long accused her of turning her back on the country where she was raised. Some commentators have even described the move as disloyal, while political figures and public personalities have questioned her motives. This controversy intensified after her success in the Olympics, where she continued to win medals for China. As a result, any public appearance by Gu often becomes a flashpoint for debate, especially in the politically sensitive context of U.S.-China relations. Why Caitlin Clark's presence amplified the debate. While Gu has long been a lightning rod for criticism, Caitlin Clark's involvement added another layer to the story. Clark herself has experienced intense media attention and debate during her rise in basketball. Discussions around her popularity have touched on issues such as race, media coverage, and the changing landscape of women's sports. When Clark appeared alongside Gu, the moment symbolically connected two athletes who have both been at the center of cultural discussions in their respective sports. Some fans celebrated the photo as a sign of solidarity among female athletes. Others, however, criticized